Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. And today I am going to talk to you about the 5 microphones that I really feel like are the best of the best when it comes to live streaming. Whether it's a podcast, whether it's gaming, whether it's music, whether it's anything, I believe that these microphones can do it all and do it all at a bunch of different price points. So we're going to go through the top 5 that I have. Now, I want to say that for the past couple of months, I have been sponsored here on Painfully Honest Tech by Restream, which to me is the best live streaming platform that you can use out there. Now, I'm not just saying that, okay, because I was using Restream and was liking their platform so much that I reached out to them to ask them to sponsor the channel. Restream has so many features, I don't want to bore you with it. I have a video that's here. I have a video that I've already done talking about why Restream is the live streaming platform to choose right here. Okay, you can click on that, but first watch the rest of this video so you can get your microphone to start live streaming. But you can stream to up to over 30 different social media platforms at one time with Restream. You can, straight from the web, use all kinds of different graphics. You can schedule your live streams. You can do a ton of different things with Restream that a lot of these other live streaming services do not offer, or it's more difficult to do. So check out that video, check out Restream. Now the link for my Restream code that'll get you $10 off if you sign up for a paid plan down in the description below. But if you want to know what it is right now, it's restream.io/join/PHT. But with that done, let's talk about how you're going to get yourself live streaming in the first place. First place that you got to start, camera, microphone. Let's talk microphones now. I'm going to make a camera video later on. So there are a few things that you need to know about microphones in order to make an educated choice. Number one, there are a couple of different microphone types that are appropriate for live streaming. There's dynamic and condenser. Dynamic microphones are like what you see here in front of me, the Shure SM7b. If you've gone to a concert at any time in your life, you've seen people using dynamic microphones like the SM58 or the SM57. Dynamic microphones are not powered. They are less sensitive and you can get closer, and they have a pickup pattern that is a little bit tighter than other microphones, okay? So what they are going to pick up is mostly what's going on right around them, like your voice. Dynamic microphones, I believe, are the best options for a live streaming / podcasting application. Now, the other kind of microphone is the condenser microphone. And the condenser microphone is a powered microphone. It takes plus 48 volts phantom power to turn on. So you plug it in with an XLR cable, and then you hit a button that's got 48 volts of phantom power that it will send back up through the cable, and that will activate your mic. Because it's powered, because of the way it's designed, it is much more sensitive than a dynamic microphone. I am not a huge fan of condenser microphones for live streaming for that very reason. You don't need to pick up all the sound in your room if you're live streaming. So that's why I end up going for the dynamic microphone over the condenser. I do have a condenser microphone in this list, and so I'm not against them, but I just give you that warning. There are a couple of different ways to get microphone signals into your computer. There's USB, which is pretty self-explanatory. There are microphones that have their own little audio interfaces built inside. You plug in a USB cable, you plug that USB cable into your computer, and then you select that sound source from whatever you're using to record or to live stream with, and you go. The other way is, of course, XLR. That's this fat cable with the 3 prongs that goes into a microphone preamp that's either in an audio interface or something, a mixing board or something like that. And then that goes into your computer through USB, through USB, through Thunderbolt, through Ethernet, lots of different ways. XLR microphones require something in between your computer and the microphone to translate this sound into ones and zeros that can be received by your computer. So it's an extra expense. It can be really expensive, it can be not so expensive, but do know if you choose an XLR microphone that you will have to have an audio interface of some kind with at least one preamp to use with your computer. So why did I choose these microphones? Well, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of cheap stuff out there. And sometimes people will think, well, I don't know if I'm going to do this for very long, so I'll buy the cheapest thing possible just to test it out. And I think that thinking, while maybe penny wise, is kind of pound foolish, because cheaper gear can often make your experience overall not so great. Think of it this way. If you buy a cheap microphone that's not very good quality, you'll buy that microphone again in not too much time because the first one will have broken, or you'll recognize that it's not worth the money that you spent on it. And then you'll spend that money a couple of different times before ultimately you spend money on a good piece of gear that's going to last you and you won't have to worry about it. Now, the SM7b that I'm speaking into right now is what I call a forever mic. And what that means to me is that there is no better microphone out there. There are different microphones out there for this application, but this is a top tier microphone. And I could get different ones, but this one is industry standard, okay? And it's gonna last me. I've already had this microphone for many years. I'll have it for many years after this day. And it will work 100% of the time for as long as I need it. That's an investment worth making for me. And all of these other microphones are investments worth making for you. So let's go ahead, get into the microphones. After much ado, we'll talk about what I encourage you to think about. Now, we're going to start cheap. This is the Rode PodMic. I used to recommend that people go with the Rode Procaster microphone, which is the bigger brother of this one, but it costs $230. This microphone at $99 is 90% of that microphone. It is small, it is compact, it doesn't take up a whole bunch of space. If you're doing video, this is great because it's not going to take up a ton of space. It's not going to obscure things. It's an XLR microphone. It has an XLR output on the back here. It has its own little cage here that it hangs from. It's a dynamic microphone, so it is a little bit less sensitive than other microphones, but comparing this microphone, which is really not sensitive, to this microphone, you can run the PodMic from just about any audio interface that you get. It is usable just straight out of the box. Now I'm going to do a video on audio interfaces for live streaming, podcasting, music, etc., and tell you my top 5 favorite audio interfaces. So hit that button and come back for the live streaming video. Make sure you bell notify yourself so that you know when that video comes out. So the next mic at $150 is the Audio-Technica AT2020 USB Plus. It is a cardioid condenser microphone. The condenser microphone is the more sensitive microphone that I was talking about before. It receives its phantom power from the USB connection itself. On the microphone, you see you have controls for volume for the headphones. You have controls for sound that's coming from the computer plus sound that's coming from the microphone, so you can hear both things. It comes with the USB cable. It comes with the clip that you would need to attach it to a microphone stand. It comes with a little three-armed microphone stand for your desktop. This is the little brother of the AT4040. The AT4040 at the time was about $400. This one is, you can get the non-USB version for about $99, the USB version for $149. And with this microphone, you don't need anything else. All you need is to plug this into your computer via USB, select it as your audio source, and you're good to go. So if you want easy, no muss, no fuss, and you have a quiet environment in which to do your live streaming, then this is a great mic for you to consider. The next microphone is another USB microphone, the Razer Seiren Elite USB streaming microphone. I mean, it says streaming microphone, but you could use it for anything else. The cool thing about this is it has a built-in shock mount, so like messing with the table and stuff like that shouldn't pick up a lot of sound. It has a super cardioid pickup pattern, which means it's a really tight pickup pattern right here in the front of the microphone, so you don't have to worry about anything sort of coming in. It has controls for volume for the headphones that you can plug into the bottom. It has controls for gain, which is the volume of the microphone going in, and then on the underside is where you plug in your headphones and your USB cable. So you see a typical setup. A typical setup for this here would be just as you see with this young fella here. He's got a microphone boom stand attached to his desk, the Razer Seiren Elite sticking right in his face, and some Razer headphones on. So, why is this different than the Audio-Technica? And why would you want to pay $210 for it? Well, this is one of the only USB microphones that I know about that is a dynamic microphone and not a condenser. So you get all the benefits of the dynamic microphone in terms of not picking up extraneous sounds out all over the place, but you also get to use the USB thing, so you don't have to have an audio interface, you don't have to have that extra expense. It's all in one, and everything can be controlled from this microphone. So the Razer Seiren Elite is a combination of the best of both worlds, in my opinion. And with the USB connection, you're good to go just right away. Now we're moving on to the microphones that I feel are probably most worth consideration. This microphone right here is a relatively new mic. This is the Shure MV7 USB broadcast, podcast recording, live streaming, gaming, built-in headphone output, all-metal USB XLR dynamic microphone with voice isolation technology and TeamSpeak certified. Okay, anyway, the MV7 is a relatively new microphone from the people at Shure, the people who make this SM7b. The thing about the MV7 is that, as you can see, the design is very similar, but the MV7 is a USB dynamic microphone, just like the Seiren that we talked about before. However, it also has XLR output. So if you do get an audio interface or a mixer and you want to spend a little bit more money on your audio setup, this can graduate with you from USB to XLR. Honestly, for $249, this microphone sounds so close to this microphone that it's kind of scary. If it were me, and I was starting today with no microphones whatsoever, no audio equipment whatsoever, I would start with the Shure MV7. Just because it's everything that you need now, it sounds great, and you can take it with you as your setup grows. So, the Shure MV7, absolutely worth checking out. Probably the mic that I would buy out of this whole setup if I could only have one microphone. Now, that is not to say that if all things being equal, I could have any microphone I want for this application, that I wouldn't buy the Shure SM7b that I'm speaking into right now. To me, this is the gold standard of dynamic microphones for this kind of application. As I said before, it is a forever microphone. You buy this microphone, it lasts because it's incredibly well built, and there's nothing better than this for this application. There are different microphones that you could choose. Some people might enjoy one microphone that sounds better on their voice than this, in their opinion, but no one can tell you that there is a better microphone in terms of its performance and its build quality than the SM7b. If you have the money and you're serious about your live streaming career, the SM7b can't be beaten, in my opinion. You do need an audio interface with this. You do need a lot of power from your microphone preamp to use this. So this becomes more involved to use. And it is, of the microphones that I've talked about here, the most difficult to master. So with this, you need at least 70 decibels of gain in your microphone preamp. Usually it's anywhere from 55 to 65 is sort of a ballpark for what most inexpensive mic preamps offer in an audio interface. So you often need what's called a cloud lifter, which I have, but it's put away somewhere, and it's an extra $150. But what the cloud lifter does is it offers you 20 extra decibels of gain without adding any kind of noise or anything to the signal. It's a phantom powered box that goes between this microphone, this cable, and whatever you're plugging into it. And you turn on your phantom power and it powers the cloud lifter, and so you get an extra 20 decibels of gain. Now, I'm not using a cloud lifter right now because what I have going on here does not need that. It has enough gain to do what it needs to do. The SM7b, cream of the crop. There might be people out there who say, oh, you know, it's this, that, or the other thing, and you'll see a lot of people using the SM7b. It is a cool looking mic and all that kind of stuff, but it is also one of the best mics that you can buy for this or really any other application. If I could only have one microphone to record music and to do anything else for the rest of my life, it would be the SM7b, without a doubt. So that right there, top 5 mics for live streaming, podcasting, even music related stuff, according to Painfully Honest Tech. Again, this whole series of videos, somewhat brought to you by the folks over at Restream for sponsoring the channel. I wanted to do these videos for Restream to help them explain to their folks who are signing up and need some advice where to go in terms of microphones and other things. So thank you, Restream, for sponsoring the channel. Again, if you want to check out one of the best live streaming platforms that you could possibly get into, down in the description below, there is the link that gets you $10 off a paid subscription, but they do have a free tryout, the ability to try the whole thing out for free with a lot of features. So do check that out down in the description below. Otherwise, let me know if you have any questions. Let's have a discussion. If you have any kind of questions whatsoever about these microphones, I'll be down in the comments below to answer them for you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that, because there will be more audio related stuff coming very, very soon. Once again, thanks so much for being here. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out. Hey there. Now, you might have just finished watching a video where I talked to you about whatever it is that I was talking to you about. And right now, something's going to pop up here on the screen that's going to show you a video that's in some way related to the topic that I just discussed with you. I recommend that you watch that video. This video, that video, subscribe to the channel with the little button with my picture in it. Okay?